Good morning or good day or good whatever. Back in Titan Quest. And how is the stream? Is it working? Seems like it. Okay. So where were we? Here. And I remember yesterday that my armor or my protective capabilities didn't seem that good, so maybe I should focus on trying to find better armor. But yeah, it ain't this white crap. Birdies. You birdies all go to hell. Today I saw some post somewhere on the internet about how Shakira, the musician, she has two sons and she's complaining that nowadays most of pop culture is very like a negative role model for young men, and she's not wrong, of course, but it's so common to see, nowadays somebody says something like that. That's sort of, it's obvious, it's common sense, and then people are, those people fighting the culture war, as it were. They're like, we are winning, and yay, it's just a victory. For somebody to say something that would have been, nobody would have bat an eye for, if somebody had said it 10, 20 years ago. It's like, yeah, I just think it's sort of sad. Oh, okay, it's a chieftain. Like, well, another example is a Stellar Blade. The Korean game for PlayStation 5 with the attractive female protagonist. And I do think it's positive. It's a positive thing that games have attractive females in them. That's not my issue. But like, one issue is that hardly anybody is talking whether the gameplay is good in the game, and and there is no gameplay because it's PlayStation 5 only, and nobody has a PlayStation 5, and if they do have it, then they use it for watching Blu-rays or something. And yeah, like nowadays, there's plenty of people praising, that it's a sign that we are winning, that Stellar Blade is made. Something that was normal just a few years ago to make a game with an attractive female, but now it's like, achievement. And I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing, but it's more like the state of affairs is sad, where we are. Like, let's say you're stuck in a dungeon for 10 years and you're forced to eat shit, and then you find like a I don't know, a wooden stick to eat instead, and you're so happy, like, oh my god, I get to eat a wooden stick instead of a lump of shit. Is oh, things are really looking up. This means I'm gonna be out of the dungeon in just 2 weeks. That's sort of where we are, I think. And maybe this is like the essence of modern conservatism, because the old meme is that, or the question is like, what do conservatives conserve? And usually the answer is they conserve the status quo, what it was maybe the 90s. Depends on, I guess, on your age and what do you think is the normal. Like, a boomer might think, the norm was how things were back in the 50s or the 60s or something. And a millennial or a Gen Xer might think the norm is how things were back in the 90s. And I'm a millennial. I was born in the 80s, but I guess for me, what is normal is very much, the 90s. But I can see past my own preconceptions. Is this place? So, okay, it's all burnt down. Oh.
You're the one from Greece, aren't you? The one who killed the Telkin. Would you believe it? A Telkin was here. A Telkin did it. I have not heard of this Eye of Chaos. You might try
Okay.
asking around.
But anyway, so my what was I saying? Oh yeah, the normalcy, like people try to get back to the 90s. I remember at least people some saying that about Sargon of Akkad. Like maybe he's changed his tune. I haven't paid much attention to him in recent years when he has the what's that Lotus Eaters podcast and stuff. So anyways, I do think that at least used to be applicable to him. Like it's this sort of naive thing, like sort of like why can't we just get along? And it's a noble sentiment, but like to use another analogy, let's say there's I don't know cannibal goblins living next to you, and you're just oh no, a better example would be Frieren, the anime, and I don't want to make any spoilers, but I recently watched it and I thought it was pretty good. Well, better than pretty good. Fayum Passage. I still have stuff to explore, but I guess I can activate this. But yeah, in Frieren, there is a fantasy world, and the main character Frieren is a mage, and she doesn't like demons because even though they seem human or humanoid like humans, dwarves, and elves, and they can speak, but they're just actually monsters who excel at magic.
Greetings, traveler! We haven't seen many new faces here lately. I don't know about any ancient artifacts. The only...
You killed the cursed Dune Raiders, did you? I would have paid you handsomely. Only now, I've got nothing. I was bound this way with a full caravan when Dune Raiders attacked. I managed to get away, but...
Okay.
Once I went into the desert. I wandered far, far into the desert. Suddenly, there were stairs in the sand.
So there's some treasure and chests.
And chests of treasure. I couldn't believe my eyes. I reached for the treasure, and suddenly beasts charged at me from the shadows. I got out of there and fast.
Okay.
Weapons, armor, potions,
So little stuff to sell. What is this? So back to Frieren and what I was talking about. Like, so yeah, demons. Aha. Okay, we're in Fayum.
No, the Doom Raider chieftain defeated? If it's true, that's the first good news I've heard in days. We'll send an envoy.
Okay, so I killed somebody and got XP. That's nice. So Frieren hates demons because even though they They
What's
look
that got
humanoid
to do
and they
with
can
you?
act like,
I
they're
think
civilized
something
people
odd.
who converse, but they only say things to make people trust them. They if you threaten to kill them, they might, call mommy, just because they know that it makes people reconsider killing them because people feel bad for them. So, anyways, back the original point was conservatism, and so this is sort of like conservatives as they are nowadays. I guess maybe the mainstream conservatives. They are the kind of people who live next door to the demons and refuse to admit their true nature, even though there's plenty of examples that the demons really can't be conversed with. Like there's the illusion of communication, but there is no true communication. They only say whatever is suitable to them, to benefit their needs. And when they have the upper hand, then they attack and bite you and stuff. So, and that's not to say that any particular group I'm associating with demons. It's more like the mindset of the conservative. Like they want to go back to a time, X number of decades in the past, and they do it by placating the demons. Instead of like be I guess the main weakness in the logic is that they are not, or I guess it's like a spiritual weakness, that they're not um, willing to make sacrifices. They're not willing to admit how their worldview in some ways is wrong. They're not willing to fix the problems. They'd rather, they just obsess, sort of like, your average socialist or communist who always, because there's the meme that real socialism has never been tried, because, when there's somebody who believes in socialism or communism, I don't know, let's just call it socialism. I won't debate what's the differences between the two are or anything, but anyway, so socialism, somebody says socialism would solve all our problems, but then somebody points out, how about Soviet Union or DDR or whatever, and how there were many bad things in those countries, and then they fell. And then the socialist would say, well, that wasn't proper socialism. They didn't do it correctly, so that's why it failed. And the oh, hey, yes, the first time I've actually used this fear spell usefully. I guess it's not too bad, if I get overwhelmed. But yeah, so real socialism has never been tried. Like, whenever somebody tries socialism, it fails, but then you still have to try again. So I think the mindset, like, because and the problem is why socialism keeps failing is there's something inherently wrong with it. Like, maybe there are some aspects of socialism that would be really good, but you have to separate the wheat from the chaff to get to some actual results, to positive results, I mean. But most believers in any kind of ideology are unwilling to do it because they would rather, bash their head against the wall until they get to the solution. And newsflash, you never get to the solution by bashing your head against the wall, unless the solution was to get through the wall. Yeah, then maybe the wall will break before your head, but I wouldn't count on it. And that's how conservatism is, like mainstream conservatives. They have some ideas that are good and I agree with, but then there are other inherent assumptions that are simply wrong and dysfunctional, but they don't want to let them go. And of course, the conservative, because nowadays, for example, there are pro-gay conservatives, but back in my day, back in the 80s or 90s, like nobody who named themselves conservative would have really said they were for gay marriage, for example. But nowadays plenty of conservatives say like it's the liberals who are the real transphobes or homophobes or whatever, not us. And whether you believe in all of that gay stuff or not, but it's just like it's not, because like I think the ultimate principle of conservatism, it should be to conserve that something that is unchanging, something that has functioned for thousands of years basically. But gay marriage is a very new thing, for example. So it's not really conservative. And of course, if you don't want to be conservative, that's another thing. If you think it's stupid or whatever, like, sure. But yeah, it's like wanting to have your cake and eat it. Although I've never really understood like the analogy, because it implies you're trying to have two diametrically opposed things. But because in order to eat a cake, you have to have it first. If you don't have any cake, you cannot eat it. So I don't know, I think that the expression is stupid, but anyways. But for myself, just to, I don't know, put my foot in it, or like step into the doggy doo-doo that I'm talking about, not to try to distance myself from it too much. So because I used to be well, I would have called myself a leftist, let's say 20 years ago, and I was for questioning all sorts of traditional gender roles and all of that stuff. And then cue back to today, you can say that all of those traditional gender roles have been questioned, and I think the result is that whatever we are trying to replace them with are much worse. So in that sense, like, yeah, I do think traditional many traditional things, or whether it's religion and stuff, like, of course, you can argue, and I think you should argue, whether let's say Christianity or paganism, because if you're European or basically from any country, the true tradition is some pagan religion, because Christianity is relatively new. But of course, that's a whole different argument, and I don't want to get to it now. Except since I brought it up, I think I owe a brief explanation what I mean. Because, like, personally, I guess I've been at the core of my heart, I've always been a bit sympathetic to any indigenous pagan beliefs, but it's not like I'm a believer. I would, well, I'm Finnish, so I wouldn't worship Mars or Apollo or Odin or whatever, because that's not my background. It's Ukko and Akka and deities you probably have no idea about, and I don't know a great deal about them, because for me it would feel silly to actually make some ritual to worship these deities that nobody has worshipped for at least 1,000 years, or close to 1,000 years, I would say. But still, yeah, I am, and so in that sense, Christianity is certainly, more practical belief system. But of course, it also comes down to, especially with a religion like Christianity, because it emphasizes the truth that Jesus is the truth, the way and life and all of that stuff. And if you don't, oh yeah, I have this. I forgot. I have the Lich King. Can I, if I use this skill again? Okay, he doesn't get the death chill or whatever. I'm so dumb. Well, it's not like I really need the help so far. But anyway, so yeah, Christianity is supposedly, it's about the truth that, and according to Christianity, the truth is something that is not obvious to anybody. Just observing the outside reality. So that's why, um, you know. So yeah, my point is, it's about figuring out the truth that it is sort of like the Matrix or something. It's not like. It is a Gnostic, because Gnosticism, even though nowadays, most Christians scoff at the mere idea of Gnosticism, but it's been called a Christian heresy. So it's like, it's partly Christian, so it's, Christianity. But I don't know, I'm getting on too many tangents. So I guess my point was, like, if I was a politician and, I wanted to, unify the West under a certain ideology, I would promote Christianity, because it's just more realistic than any paganism or anything to give like a value system for people or anything like that. But of course, like, I think to do that is disingenuous, I think. Like, you shouldn't, because I think it goes against the very principle of Christianity, if you just say, like, oh, just be a Christian. Because I see some, YouTubers or streamers or whoever, they say, like, oh, you should just be a Christian. And I don't get the faith from them, like, listening to their words. I don't it They don't seem genuine. They just do it because it seems like a good idea, or it's like a good idea for them to get attention, instead of and to point out, to make my point is, I'm not certainly saying that's every Christian, or even most Christians are like that. Not at all. But some somewhat conservative or right wing or whatever YouTubers and stuff. They don't. They just seem because to act like they believe in Christianity because it's suitable. It fits their political goals, I guess. That's the right point. But What was I talking about even? Like socialism, conservatism? Well, yeah, I guess maybe the underlying argument here should be that maybe I'm naive or something, but I really like to have like a both genuine belief in whatever belief system you believe in, and instead of just doing it for political expediency or something. And also like having honesty about the functionality of your um, belief system, that you should test and prove all things. I think the Bible says something like that even. So it's not like blind faith, especially if we're talking about some political ideology. Blind faith is not a good thing usually. Well, no, yeah, I'm gonna say it's never a good thing if you're talking about a man-made political ideology. Because all of man-made things are very flawed in one way or another. And this cave is fucking huge. I don't know how did I get from Stellar Blade to all of this, but whatever. I don't know. I like rambling about stuff like that. I don't know if anybody. Oh, what's this? I don't know if anybody actually cares about listening me ramble on about these things, but I don't know. I think this game is, one of the things I like about Titan Quest is it's sort of laid back most of the time, just running around and killing monsters. And why can't I? Energy too low. Okay, now I can summon it. You're too slow. How can I level up? Or is it like, do I level him up if I level this stuff up? I guess. Ah, there's some chamber here. Hey, my skeleton is still alive, or Licho, or Lich King. That's very nice. It's polite of you. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not a fan of like, and I do understand it, but like there's this any kind of public speaker on the internet nowadays. Either they're a grifter or somebody's accusing them of being a grifter, and maybe they are both, or maybe they're not. Maybe they are, but like a certain level, it's necessary. Uh, to gain an audience, I guess, is to try to appeal to as wide an audience as possible. But then there's, then you have to be very dishonest, and of course, there's a big difference between being diplomatic and just being dishonest. I guess there is no slave driver. Was this no caravan driver? None of those. And this is the biggest dungeon so far. Okay. But yeah, regarding conservatism, like, because I do nowadays sort of think myself as a conservative. Like I said, I used to be a leftist. Like, I wouldn't have called the or used the word liberal, but I guess, many of my beliefs were quite liberal back then. And 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 to a great extent, like, I haven't changed my beliefs that much. It's partially because the world has changed, and partially because, I see many things differently now than I used to when I was younger. And oh no, I finished my water. So is this it? Almost done with this cave? Boonga boonga. I guess I can take some white crap because I probably have to teleport away anyways, because it's gonna be much faster to teleport than to walk. But yeah, so I think of myself as conservative, but yeah, not in the same sense as your average conservative party in whatever country you are in. Okay, I guess I just teleport. Yeah, because I guess for me, like, the essence of being a conservative is to see what are universal things about being a human being, and about society and all that have worked for hundreds and thousands of years. I guess that's the essence. Like, just to make a really obvious point that it should be obvious, but unfortunately nowadays it's not that self-evident to many people. But the reason why traditionally men went to work or men went hunted while the women stayed at home taking care of the children and cooking food and all of that stuff. Is this the cave I just went through? I am just gonna have a quick look. Yeah, this is the cave. So the main reason between gender roles between men and women is that women produce milk, and before fridges and baby formulas and whatever, you had to have not necessarily the mother, but you had to have some woman who can produce milk to feed babies. And if a woman with a 6-month-year-old baby would go on a hunt, Either she'd have to bring the baby with her, which probably wouldn't allow her to be very effective in hunting, and also the baby might cry and stuff. It would make her encumbered. She wouldn't be able to use a bow or sneak and run effectively, and she would endanger the baby, and the baby might cry and stuff and alert all the animals that were to be hunted that there's humans hunting them because the baby is crying and is loud and stuff. So there's that. So that's why the men would go hunt and the women would stay at home taking care of the children. It's biology, and people nowadays who have issues with these things, they they oppose biology, they oppose reality itself, physical reality. And you can argue that it's unfair, sure, but it's like a pointless argument, unless you can change reality. Let's say one day in the future with genetic manipulation, maybe you can change these facts. Like, I don't think you should, but then we can have some of these arguments about changing certain gender roles. But otherwise, if we want to perpetuate the species, then there is not much argument to be had. But that's why men usually traditionally men go to work, and women, well, they still had to, another, well, this is a stupid myth of just past few decades, saying that, oh, women didn't work at all. Like, of course women worked. Like, if you were a medieval peasant and you were a woman, it didn't mean that you could just stay at home eating and gossiping and taking care of the children or something. Like, yeah, you had to work in the farm and tending to the crops with your husband and children and all of that stuff. Okay, so here's one cave. Well, I guess I can go here first. Is it like a boss room or something? Revolting. So anyway, so yeah, of course women had to work, but it's different. They usually didn't go out to oh, Anubis and 2 obelisks. Oh no, this isn't gonna be easy. Yeah, women usually wouldn't go out to basically to serve a boss or a feudal lord, to gain their income or anything. It would be the man's work, and I don't see a problem. And okay, personally, I'm not opposed. Like, if nowadays, if the man wants to stay home and the wife goes to work or something, I'm not against the idea. But I just think most women are against the idea. Like, they might say this or that, but ultimately they wouldn't be happy. If the man just stayed at home cleaning and taking care of the children or whatever, and she had to go to the corporation and all that. Most women wouldn't appreciate it, not in the long term. So yeah, just, rambling, but yeah, that's why gender roles, they exist for a reason. It's not arbitrary. Like, of course you can and you should sort of reevaluate them every now and then, and what it actually means, like to what extent should men and women have different roles and stuff, in the 19th century, for example, Victorian age, they had different views, like much more limiting views of what women can and can't do, and to a certain extent, sure, you can say they were incorrect about the possible capabilities of women, what kind of work they can do and stuff. But that's not the biggest issue, because it should be obvious by now that one reason why nowadays women are in most families, or most couples, both the man and the woman work, but it wasn't necessary. Let's say in the 50s, I wasn't around then, but well, even Homer Simpson is from the Simpsons, from the late 80s, early 90s. Homer Simpson, he worked, his wife didn't work, um, but he was able to support a family with a car and two children and two cars and nice house and all of that stuff. So that was considered normal back then. But nowadays it's not. Nowadays it's expected that both the man and the woman go to work, and this is simply because the evil capitalist man who wants basically to set the men and the women in society against each other. Because wouldn't what's this?
You can't carry anymore.
Okay. Portal, okay. So ideally only one adult in the family should have to work to support for the family. Like, of course, if you're really a go-getter family and you really like money, or you have you really like traveling around the world and stuff and want to make money, like of course you should be able to, both adults in a family should be able to work, assuming that it's a family. But nowadays, of course, it's not so self-evident that people will get married or anything for various reasons. Is this good? Is this one-handed or two-handed? This might be decent, so I guess I'll save it for now. It's decent, but I don't know, there's health regeneration on my current armor, and the armor value is a bit higher, so I'm still gonna keep it.
Farewell.
I guess I should go to a bigger city so I can store stuff there. But yeah, so ideally, only one person in a family should have to work, and this is it's a scam. It's simply a scam that nowadays both adults have to work, generally speaking. Okay, extend the storage. I don't know. I guess I should bring this. I'm not sure who wants this, but it's a quest
Your
item,
goods
so
are
I
safe
should
with
give it
me.
to somebody. Death Ward. It requires a lot of intelligence. But yeah, well, the ultimate point was that the reason is that women traditionally stay at home is because of biology, and men have to go to work or hunt or whatever. But of course, there's a lot of nuance to it, and Okay, so there was one more cave here. I guess that's where I'm supposed to go. Oh, but okay, yeah. One insight I think I have about the difference between being a conservative and a progressive is that progressivism is ever changing in some sense, but in another it's not. Well, yeah, it's difficult to explain because they sound very contradictory. But because okay, progressivism is like they know the they know the future, they know the absolute truth in their own according to their own belief system. They know the absolute truth. You know, socialism or some, for example. Like they know we have to have these and that these policies in effect, and then we will have a workers' paradise, and everything will be great forever. So it's like a computer program that has been written already. Like the program is ready. They just have to go through the process of loading the program. You're just looking at the progress bar with socialism, but which is part of the progressive ideology. But um, uh, then conservatism. I got a level, I think. Wasted. Okay, get this, get that. Yeah. I don't want to think about it now. And then some. Let's have some intelligence, some strength. Okay. Um, yeah, now it's level 2. Okay. So yeah, conservatism is the opposite. That like progressivism is inorganic. It's it's artificial, like a plastic box or something with round square corners and stuff. Whereas conservatism doesn't doesn't really claim to know the truth. It knows. It's more like it's about avoiding what is wrong. Like it knows that you know it has these traditional lessons, like if you do this it's generally not good. Like, it doesn't mean that it's always bad to do something, but generally speaking, you should avoid A, B, and C, and you should try to do, E, F, G or something. Like, for example, marriage, sex before marriage. According to conservatism, or being a conservative, sex before marriage is frowned upon. Like, it doesn't mean that, if you do it, um, you will straight go to hell or something, or if some people in society do it, they will society will fall immediately. But I guess it's like, it's a slippery slope. Nowadays is the institution of marriage is not doing so well because of various reasons, and of course, and the birth rate is down in most developed countries, and all of that stuff. And well, it's only one reason is premarital sex and stuff, but I think that's one reason, for example, because sex is just nowadays is it's more like a hobby, something you do is fun, whereas traditionally it was only in the institution of marriage, and basically to have children, or well, not simply because of that, but it's the official explanation was that, but in practice, of course, they still did it for fun and stuff. But okay, I get so lost on tangents talking about, but like is the inorganic versus organic nature of progressivism, and
Traveler, come look at my wares.
and conservative way of viewing the world. Hey,
Oh, is that
dudes,
all?
I was trying to be selling my stuff, engaging in capitalism, and then you attack me. This probably would be really nice for some other character, but yeah,
Always welcome.
I don't know. I think it's sort of cheap. Especially, I'm not planning on starting a new character anytime soon. Who knows in 10 years if I do. But so yeah, conservatism is like oh, okay. I found a portal, Giza. So this is the pyramid. It's quite small. I guess it's mostly buried. That's why it's so small. But conservative, being a conservative, I guess I should differentiate between conservatism, which is like the sort of this contemporary political ideology, and then just being a conservative. Basically, is what has worked before. Like, sure, it's sort of simple-minded. Like, you're a child once put his hand on a hot plate and was burnt, and then he knows, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it in the future because it gives me pain. It is sort of like what's being conservative is all about, because it is also an organic fact of reality that if you put your hand on a hot plate, it's gonna burn you, it's gonna hurt. So it's like conservatives know what is a woman. Like even that Matt Walsh guy, who is sort of part of the Sphinx, who is part of the sort of conservatism, this ideology. that is not so functional overall, I think. But he knows what is a woman. Is an adult human female. That was the definition. But the progressive nowadays, they don't know what is a woman, because it's like they have so many convoluted terminology, and it's not organic, it's artificial, because it's a biological fact. What is a woman, and what is a man? They're biological facts, and not simply cultural creations of cultural products, or artificially whatever. Like, certainly society does impose certain artificial norms based on your sex upon you. That's where the progressives are correct. But inherently, there's a biological, physical reality between being a man or a woman. Which is something that progressives don't like nowadays. They don't agree with it. They try to dictate what is reality. There's the word prescriptive and descriptive, like in some academics, or like I first heard this term in like linguistics and stuff. Prescriptive is prescribing something, as you're telling people how things should be, and descriptive is simply describing how things are. So yeah, conservatism, well, of course it can be also prescriptive, like telling you how things should be, but ultimately it's based on being a conservative is based on certain descriptive truths about reality, and then they make prescriptive statements based on that. And certainly some of those statements are wrong. The assumptions sometimes will be wrong, but at least there's an attempt to accurately portray they try to accurately portray reality, whereas especially nowadays, progressives, they just very aggressively describe this is how things should be, and you're racist, sexist, and everything else if you disagree. I guess like my strength might go down a bit, but sure. I hope I can get the whole Ramses set. Yeah, bling bling like, oh no, I don't have enough strength. What are the requirements for this? What do I lack? Okay, it's dexterity. Okay, so I guess I have to raise my dexterity, or yeah, I don't have, but I guess I can use it once I have enough dexterity, then I can use those. But yeah, so the, I don't know, the main failing of conservatism, the modern conserving what was normal when I was young. That's basically what it is. It's just progressivism light. A more polite way of being progressive, basically. So yeah, at the risk of sounding edgy or something, I try my best not to believe in any particular ideology. That's not to say that I still prefer conservatism to progressivism, but still I don't think that the ultimate truth is found in either of those belief systems. Yeah. So I skinned them, like you flayed the zombie, and then that's like a skeleton underneath. So creepy. So yeah, maybe instead of calling it conservative, I should call myself organicist or something. I prefer to try to adhere to organic reality, as things that are actual, things that actually function, and to a certain degree it's of course impossible. You can never have complete truth about the nature of reality unless you get whisked away by God or something who tells you the truth. But even then, how can you know that it's actually is God, as is not a malicious demon pretending to be God and taking you away or something? So anyway, so yeah, you can never have absolute truth about reality. But then again, you can have some kernel of truth. Like of course, like take the Descartesian argument of the malicious demon, that cogito ergo sum, that that you exist. Like let's say that nothing that your senses tell you is true because you're being deceived by an evil demon, but you can still figure out that you exist because the demon has something to torment, basic, or to deceive. That's how Therefore, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. So I guess I have to agree. Like when I was a teenager, I was like, no, I wanted to disagree, but basically, yeah, that's I think is true. So so to a certain extent, and I am, partial to the idea that even before the Matrix movie existed, that how do you know what is reality? How do we know that what we perceive as reality is reality? Or the movie Dark City toys with the idea that your memories are altered is similar to the Matrix, and in some ways much even better. But anyway, so yeah, it toys with the idea that how do you know that your memories are accurate, that they can be altered by the evil beings in the movie and stuff. So I do think that it's okay. I guess there's going to be a boss. So yeah, to a certain extent I agree that you should always be like question that how do we really know that, what we think is reality is reality? Um, can I? Yeah, it's construct, so I cannot use my whatever this is life drain on them. Oh no, there's honor guards. Then should I actually kill the honor guards? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have broken the obelisk. So yeah, I was just trying to say that, yeah, technically you can never know the absolute truth about what is reality, but generally speaking, we all assume that more or less our memories are reliable and we know who we are and all of that. Of course, there's always room for being wrong or deceived and something, but generally speaking, sure, things are somewhat as we perceive them. And that's the ideology I believe in, that we can make reasonable observations about reality, and whether it's um, facts about the physical world or human interaction or human nature and all of that stuff, both are applicable. These enemies are annoying. They're not that tough, but just annoying. So yeah, I guess the smart move would have been to, destroy one obelisk, destroy one guardian, and so on. But yeah, it's not that big a deal still that I have to fight against all four of them. Well, yeah, logos is the word basically that I think is from Greek philosophy originally. Means basically the reason word, something like that, but it's somewhat been hijacked by Christianity. Since it's nowadays is mainly associated with Christianity and God and all of that stuff. Oh, boss master killed. So yeah. So it was a long way to get there, and this wasn't my intention. But when you think through all the stuff I rambled on about, it's like being a conservative is to believe in organic reality, or in other ways logos, which manifests itself through reality. You know that there's some rational principle behind the world, that it's not completely random. It's not like some weird dream logic where pink elephants suddenly appear and disappear and turn into marshmallow marmalade minions of doom or something, like but nowadays the progressives very much oppose this worldview logos. That's what they do. And whether you think that Christianity is the true manifestation of logos or not, that's your prerogative. I don't wanna take any stand on the matter right now, because I don't really know. Because you can make an argument either way, but anyway, but certainly No, honor guard. Small like shit guard because they were so shitty. Munga munga. Yeah, because progressives they reject observable logical reality. You know, logic word comes from logos. I'm fairly certain. Uh, whereas the other side, they, although you know, you can argue over whatever what exactly is the nature of logos and stuff, and you should argue over it. But you know, at least you admit there is such a thing.
Please you.
Oh no, not gonna sell that. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have sold that, but too late. Well, I could buy it back probably, but I don't wanna. Oh, yeah, yeah, now I have a pet.
Farewell.
So, where are this? I guess is in the previous city, like these quest guys. Memphis. From Stellar Blade to Logos. History of Conservatism. Maybe that should be the title of this video when I upload it on YouTube. You know, it sounds so pretentious. I like it.
Excellent. Now bring me the other artifact and we can begin the.
With what other artifact? Well, I guess I'll stumble upon it eventually. But where? What am I supposed to do with this family sort of a Heru and Heru?
Good day.
Okay, put this here for now. This seems shitty. Okay, what sort of pet stuff do I have? Maybe put all the pet stuff here. Why do I have crap like this? This is cold resistance. So is it? Are any of these actually better than like +5 physical damage? I don't think it's gonna be so good with this thing. Like although he does sometimes hit with his staff, but it's not really purpose of the weapon. I don't think this is gonna be so
Your
useful.
goods are safe with me.
I don't have time for idle chit-chat. I'm too busy. I suppose you'll want something that's so bye then.
Okay, let's go adventure a bit more. Giza? Yeah, I think that's the right direction to go. Yeah, I went there. I am getting a bit peckish, so I won't play too long, but hey, I defeated a boss, got some items, rambled a lot. Pyramid of Khufu. Ah. Run away for just a little while. No, my friend. Damn, I forgot. I named him yesterday. My minion, Lich King, but I forgot. Oh,
Monsters have broken in here. They must.
I guess we can go in here. Khufu. Insert question mark. Because this is a pyramid. Like, you know, Egyptologists claim that pyramids were tombs, but supposedly nobody has ever found a body inside a pyramid like that. So maybe they weren't actually tombs. That's what, you know, let's say alternative Egyptologists claim. Ooh, there's a door. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Egypt, but you know, why exactly do they, you know, Egyptologists claim that pyramids were tombs? Like, you know, it sounds more like a meme that archaeologists, you know, came up with the idea to explain why were these pyramids built, that, you know, we don't really know how they were built anyways. So then they came up with like, oh well, they were probably tombs, and then, you know, nobody really bothered to double check whether it actually makes sense. That's my impression on the matter. But you know, this is one of those things. If you talk about, you know, denying what the mainstream academia quote unquote knows to be true, then you're, you know, heretic basically, and deserve to be burned at stake. You know, it's one of those, even though it's, you know, I cannot call it progressivism, but it's one of these inorganic belief systems that, you know, is there, like, you know, maybe they were, maybe some of them were tombs, I don't know, but it's like, you know, that you're not even allowed to question it. Like it doesn't sit well with me. And I guess it's different with religion because ultimately religion is it is down to faith. It's down to things that you cannot know. Like for example, Jesus, it was just Easter, and you don't know whether Jesus even existed or whether Jesus came back from the dead. Around 2,000 years ago, or you cannot know it factually either way. But either you have faith or you don't have faith, or you're somewhere in the middle, like me. Like maybe, who knows? But ultimately, yeah, sure, I don't have the faith. I cannot say that I absolutely believe that Jesus existed and came back from the dead. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Hugh Jackal-Man. And here, dead Jackal-Man. So much XP from this little bitch. But yeah, my point was that I can respect having taboos and stuff due to religious reasons more than due to academic reasons or something. Let's say you are not allowed to. Damn! Of course, it had a curse. I'm so stupid. But yeah, like if you're not allowed to question, let's say some kind of medical intervention, I think that's what the fuck is. Why am I dying? What's going on? Or am I still dying of the curse? Okay, now I'm healing. Let me have a look of this. Yeah, I think the new Bunga Munga is. No, wait. I think it's just better. Even though I hardly ever use. Yeah, it's like it's forever cursed. Or maybe I have to have some special item to remove the curse. But yeah, as I was saying, I can uh, if you're not allowed to question certain medical interventions, that's not science and that's not reasonable, because it should be an issue of science. But if you're not allowed to I don't know, question the divinity of Jesus in a society, I can accept it more easily. Like, sure, I don't agree with it, or like if you're not allowed to depict images of Muhammad, then it's also easier for me to accept, because it's a religious issue of faith and dogma and all of that stuff, and it's not a certain level is not rational, although I don't know. I don't want to go to this issue because it's too vast. Maybe my next video, if I remember. But anyway, so yeah, so that's why, like I really despise it when you cannot question so-called scientific issues or historical issues or something. Like
This is
yeah.
locked.
Guardian? Which Guardian? Let's say a certain election, huh? There was a certain election in a country 4 years ago, and you were not allowed to question the results, or like if you're not allowed to question what happened 80 years ago in some place, or whatever, is it's doesn't make sense. Like for me, it's just a clear example of tyranny. Like I don't see any rational reason for it. Whereas, I can see some rational reason why you are not allowed to commit blasphemy. Because, like, especially nowadays, like, when I was a teenager, certainly I was, or even, in my early 20s or whatever, like, yeah, sure, I was very much opposed to any kind of blasphemy laws. But nowadays, due to especially, like, how every entertainment franchise that I used to like has been ruined in one way or another. Like, Star Wars, for example. Like, even before Disney Star Wars, like, I think the prequels were horrendous. Um, but yeah, maybe if I were to watch them again in the light of the Disney Star Wars movies, maybe they would seem like masterpieces. But anyways, even though I thought that this was, it was in fact blasphemous, and every, pretty much every franchise you used to like, or even if you didn't like it, you were familiar with in your youth, they have been ruined by the wokeness. So yeah, because of that, I really do understand the idea of blasphemy laws much better. Like, maybe there should be some, laws about, simply you shouldn't be able to pervert and insult something you hold dear, without any repercussions. Like, of course, there's always the danger that it goes too far to the other direction, and then you cannot say anything. But yeah, sure, it is like it's funny that um, it is in reality, in effect, that due to certain political ideologues ruining a lot of franchise. There's no shop here. I thought there would be at least a shop here, but apparently no. But yeah, because some political ideologues ruined a lot of, franchises that I used to like, or at least somewhat like, that, it made me understand religion much better, that, why blasphemy laws are a thing. It's silly, but it's also true. I don't know. I don't know. It's fun rambling. This is what makes this game so fun, because, like, if I don't have anything to ramble about, then it can get a bit tedious at times. Not always, but it has this relaxed atmosphere with occasional, tougher enemies that make force me to sort of focus more. Let's see if there's still something to explore in this pyramid. Star. I guess, yeah. I guess I could have just teleported away, but since I walked all the way here, I guess I can clean up the area surrounding the pyramid. Then I guess I will go save and finish the session soon. Okay. Have I been here? Looks like it. Come on. Can you... Okay. No, I have not. Okay, I guess I still have to explore this place. I've just been trying to think, what was it that I said I should title the video, because I well, not for completely forgot, but like mostly forgot what this was. Something about Stellar Blade to conservatism. Ooh, demonology. Let's get these shooty guys first. Oh no. Okay, thanks, you skeleton dude, floaty Lich King dude. He actually killed some of them. That was useful, which was nice. Oh,
No, stay back! Don't go in there. It's gone mad. It won't.
yeah, I have to go in then. So what is mad? Oh, doggy. Hennessy, drink, whatever. Oh no, my skeleton dude. Oh, fuck you, boy, you will. Run away, run away, run away. Oh no. Oh, 21 health or something. Okay, just keep running. And it's undead, so I cannot use my special powers. Okay. Just managed to kill it. That was close.
It's dead, isn't it? Oh, I had hoped to use it against the monsters. It should have followed my command. It was as if it was possessed. My sister, Tatari, must be worried sick about me. I should return to her.
Okay.
I have lost so much.
There's still some places here to explore. Oh. Desecrated Dead. Sounds like a heavy metal band, and maybe I've said it before. Wait, was it? I think I remember now. From Stellar Blade to Logos. Critique sounds fancy of conservatism. Okay, yeah. Don't know if anybody's gonna watch it, the video anyways, but hey, I have some viewers right now and I'm grateful. Somebody's suffering through my rants. Okay, let's check this place out. Still some darkness here. I can never go eat because I don't want to leave, dark areas here or something. And, if I have to come, oh, those are big. Okay, just ant lions and dead lions. Because, if I leave some area unexplored and then come back tomorrow, then the enemies will have respawned. It's not like the most horrible thing ever. I have to wait for this to end so I can get this. Oh, okay, I got it already. Oh, so I can get to. I thought I cannot get more than one aura from the obelisks. Okay. But yeah, it's not the worst thing ever if I have to, redo, kill the enemies again because I get more XP and stuff. And I've done it before, but still, it's best if I can avoid it. And it's not like I'm in a terrible hurry, just a little bit of hurry. Okay. I guess I should. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I was just looking at the map. Okay, now you're dead, and I got your Icar, and there's bones too. Igor loves Icor, or Igor loves Icor. Okay. This area is clear. Okay, outer Giza, outer limits. Let's go to Memphis. I guess I will return the quest item tomorrow since, then I'll have better idea of what the guy is saying and stuff.
Everything I feared, but thank the gods, Unos is alive. Bless you, stranger, for your help.
Okay.
What do you want?
What is your quest? Lots of quest items. Maybe I can still get one more bag here because there's space. That would be nice. I hope this wasn't the item I received as a reward because it sucks. Okay, probably was. It was something of strength, I think.
All right then.
The problem is it because I guess. Wait, no, he doesn't. I don't have his. Who am I supposed
You
to?
cannot open
Ah,
this
okay.
scroll.
He
I
wanted
believe
the
my
stuff.
eyes. Is that the staff of Khufu? Osiris, strike your enemies. I must reward you handsomely for this. Here. With this staff, authority. With authority, leadership. With leadership, Memphis yet has hope against the monster threat.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, I didn't want to give the quest item yet, but I guess it's good I did because I thought I had the item for this guy, but I guess I don't. Because when I load the game, I should spawn in the place where this fountain is activated. So this is where I come back. So okay, I'm gonna save and I'm gonna finish for now. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.